Hello and welcome to the #AdStudents podcast. Unfortunately, this week, Billy and I will not be joined by Henry, but instead we're going to be going for a bit of a fun topic this week. We're going to be looking at some of the strangest products that we could find online. So I hope you enjoy.
Hello!
Bit of a weird one today because Henry isn't here, so we thought we'd do something a little bit...
out of the ordinary.
Yes, a little bit out of the ordinary. So, to be honest, we're just going to have a bit of a laugh today at some of the strangest products that we have found online. And some of these, Billy's found and I haven't found. So he'll be showing me things that I haven't seen. So it'll be my genuine reaction to it. Some of the things that I'll be showing Billy, he hasn't seen yet. So I think it'll be a bit of a funny one this week. And of course, any of the products that you hear from us in this particular podcast, some of them have been failed, and I think some of them are still going. So if you fancy buying them, it's worth giving it a look online and seeing if it's still available. So, Billy, what have you got for me first?
Well, we'll start off with a bang. A minty bang, although I don't think this was supposed to be minty. I'm going to start with the one and only Colgate beef lasagna. Yes, that's right. Colgate, as in the toothpaste brand, decided to make a beef lasagna in 1982.
Yeah, we spoke about this in one of our previous podcasts, didn't we? And I'd never heard of this before. But now I'm looking at it and it's got exactly the same normal Colgate logo on it. You would think it would be minty fresh lasagna.
Even the packaging photographs look like they've got mint in them.
It does.
It is the most strange brand extension idea I think I've ever seen. I mean, I'm sure we will then be proved wrong with later examples, but
I could understand maybe if they redesigned their logo or had like a sub-brand name for it rather than just sticking with the original Colgate. And looking at the packaging, like, it looks like it could have been from a toothpaste tube. They've just made it bigger and put beef lasagna on it instead.
I mean, to be fair, if I saw this in a supermarket on a shelf, I would actually assume that it was toothpaste that tasted of beef lasagna.
I'm not sure what I would think. I mean, obviously I don't eat beef anyway, but if I did look at it, I'd be like, oh, that's a bit interesting. I think I would try it. Just to be like, what is this?
I think I would, actually.
But then I think I would be ultimately disappointed that it's not minty.
But it's safe to say that their sales did plummet after the launch of the kitchen entries line. But it just goes to show, when you've got a brand that's so prominent in one area, maybe brand extensions aren't always the thing to do, especially when it's polar opposite as well.
Yeah, and if anything, it's a good reflection on how well they were doing in the toothpaste sector.
Yeah. Well, I definitely associate Colgate with toothpaste, and I can almost taste minty freshness in my mouth.
It doesn't help that they've got like little, I think they look like basil leaves on top of the actual beef lasagna.
Well, are they basil or are they mint? Because I thought they were mint.
Or they could be mint leaves. That's the thing. You can't quite tell. Right. So this was a good one I found. So these are 3 different products that you're looking at, Billy. 3 different products that are stationed next to each other. But my personal favourite in this image is the chicken lead. So it's like a harness that you'd normally have for your dog or your cat, but it's been adapted for a chicken. So if you have a pet chicken, you can take it out for a walk. Which, to be fair, I could understand how some people might find that useful. Some people might have pet chickens that they want to take for walks and might not necessarily have a lot of room for them in their back garden. I'm not sure, but if you don't have enough room in your back garden, you probably shouldn't have chickens. But yeah, I think the chicken harness is a personal favourite of mine.
It even comes with a bow tie for the chicken.
Yeah, it does have a bow tie on it as well. The chicken looks happy in the advert. It looks like it's comfortable.
Right next to a box of bacon.
Bacon bandages.
Is that pickle lip balm?
Yep, so the other 2 products are on this photo. So one of them is like plasters, like normal plasters, but they look like strips of bacon.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then the other one is pickle lip balm. So if you really like pickle juice or pickles. But yeah, if you like pickles, you can get some pickle lip balm on Amazon.
I would actually use that. Perhaps not on a first date, but I would definitely use it during the day.
Yeah, but my personal favourite has to be the chicken lead. So if you ever fancy taking your chicken for a walk, you can.
I just don't know how I'd feel if I saw that in the street, just somebody walking a chicken.
I know a lot of people do it now, but even walking cats, I still think, I look at and I think it's strange when you see people taking their cats out for walks.
Yeah, I saw somebody once take a ferret out on a lead.
That, to be fair, I could understand maybe taking your ferret out, but like it's understandable when you think about the context of it. But the initial idea of something that you're not used to, of just taking your chicken out for a walk with your chicken harness, or maybe you fancy going to the pub, and like you can't leave your chicken home alone. So you take your chicken with you.
But what if it flies off?
Well, that's the thing. It's on a lead. It's on a harness. Your chicken...
Yeah, but it'll be like you're flying a kite.
It's like you're walking around with a chicken balloon. Personally, I think that's a fantastic product. A very unique product. I'm not sure how many people purchase it. I assume there's a niche market for it somewhere to be successful.
I actually really want the bacon bandages and the pickle lip balm. That would be a nice meal.
A nice meal. I don't think you can eat the bacon bandages.
No, me neither.
Because they are just plasters. They are sterile. It says on the packaging, 15 large sterile strips. Yeah, I don't think they're edible, unfortunately, for that.
No, they should at least be flavoured.
Scented bacon plasters. Helps with the healing process.
So the next one on my list, I kind of wish that this was still a thing. Like, I don't remember this coming out when I was a kid, but apparently it did.
That looks horrendous. It might have come out in America, to be fair.
Yeah, it might be actually, but this is the Heinz Squirt Funky Purple Ketchup. That's right, purple ketchup. And we're looking at an image right now of it squeezed upon a load of fries.
It doesn't look very appetising, I must admit. I mean, I have been to places where, like, they're serving fries on, like, a food market stall. And they've got, like, green, like, luminous green, when I say green, luminous green sauce. But it's something fancy, like, well, not fancy, but it's something nice. It's phrased as garlic and basil. So you think, okay, that's why it's green. That's why it's that level of luminous green. But you look at the ketchup one, and it's just purple, and you don't really see any context as to why it's purple. It's just called EZ Purple Ketchup, or EZ Squeeze is what it's called, right?
It kind of reminds me of acrylic paint, to be fair. And it says they came in 3 main colours. They had teal, green and purple. Now, I'm not going to lie, teal ketchup kind of makes me hungry.
I could understand that, because that would have could have natural products in, like basil or avocado, like lots of like naturally green herbs or vegetables to make it green.
Toothpaste.
Yeah, mint. You could put mint in it.
There you go. Colgate have missed out on another trick for the food market.
Should have gone with ketchup. But yeah, the purple one, I'm just not so sure about, if I'm perfectly honest. It looks a bit dodgy. What would go in that?
Industrial waste, perhaps.
Industrial waste. I mean, the only things I can think of that have like purple juice is like red cabbage or beetroot, but it's not that kind of purple. It looks like they've put lots of different things in it, and I would like to see the ingredients list for this purple ketchup.
No, you would not. But I reckon they've probably put like a blue food colouring in to kind of blend the I don't know if it started off as
Blue
like
and red.
red.
Yeah.
But then how do you get teal?
Teal is sort of like a greeny blue though, isn't it? So that could again be like different like herbs and green vegetables, which makes sense to me.
But you've got to get rid of the red to start with, surely.
Yeah, that's a good point. So was this traditional tomato ketchup that are just coloured?
Was it even tomato ketchup? Ketchup's got to have tomato.
Was it even tomato ketchup, or did it have different flavours? Because it just says purple.
According to the packaging, it definitely has vitamin C, apparently. I think C stands for colouring. How strange.
I don't think I would buy it. I think I would make someone else buy it so they waste their money, and then I would watch them try it before I even went near it. But I also think I would read the ingredients list.
Yeah, unfortunately, it has been discontinued.
I'm not surprised. What parent in their right mind would buy their child purple tomato ketchup?
So, Katie, have you got another one?
So this one is a unicorn toilet spray that'll save you. That'll save you when you have indigestion of mythical proportions. Fortunately, if you spray this in the toilet before you go, your bathroom won't end up being a scene out of Dark Brothers Grimm fairy tale. That is the description that is on the BuzzFeed website that I'm looking at the moment. And it's called Squatty Potty Unicorn Gold. And it's before you squat spray. The scent is a Mystic Forest, and it's bergamot and bay leaf.
I'm not sure I want my toilet smelling of bay leaf. I don't want my toilet smelling like a casserole.
I suppose I can understand some people wanting their toilet to smell fresh. And no shame if you, like, most people do have sprays in their bathrooms anyway. But it's just the actual packaging and the name of the product. I mean, Squatty Potty, and the fact that it says before you squat spray. It's not very subtle, for one thing.
This product really reminds me, actually, of the VI Poo. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Oh my goodness, the VI Poo. It got quite a bit of a backlash, actually. People complaining to the ASA. It's basically the same kind of thing. And it's just a spray that you spray in the toilet after going for a number. And it really reminds me of this, actually. For all the listeners out there, and you, Katie, I definitely recommend looking at VI Poo. Because it's actually quite a funny advert. In my opinion, my next product. Now this is, we'll go for this one. This is BIC, B-I-C, a kind of stationery brand, if you're not familiar. Well, in 2012, they decided to create the BIC for Her. That's right, an exclusive pen specifically for women. In fact, they dubbed it as the Lady Pen. Now, what's interesting about this product is that it's all glittery, pink, and lots of patterns. I think there's a few flowers on there. Now, does that just, stereotype all women? I mean, it's 2012, so, bear in mind this is not now, this was in 2012. But could that get away now? Could you get away with that now?
They 100% probably would not get away with it now. I mean, personally, the phrase lady pens seems like some kind of euphemism to me. So I'm not sure if some people would misconstrue what the product actually is. I do think it's quite sort of like stereotypically sort of catered to women, but it is quite, in that stereotype, it can be quite sexist. Men might want pens that are glittery and flowery, and if it says like for her on it, it doesn't necessarily bode the right message. And also, like, traditionally, in my mind at least, when a product says for her on it, I think perfume, and perfume can sort of be more seen as a glamorous product, and I don't really see BIC pens as a glamorous product.
Yeah, so that failed to gain a consumer base, surprisingly, or not surprisingly.
See, the thing is, as a woman, I look at that and I would not buy that. I don't like it, like, as a pen in general. To be fair, I don't really care about the pens that I buy as long as it's just, like, something that writes and I can get my ink on the paper. I'm fine with that.
But don't you want the comfort grip?
Well, it'll run out eventually, won't it? Anyway, I have to buy a new one.
I would be really curious to see if they did do a for him version.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You can't necessarily do one without the other. So I thought Wish would be a good website. I haven't actually looked on this yet.
I've seen this.
Oh, yeah, this is a bad one. So, this particular product is a portable peeing pot for children. And essentially, it's a hippo's mouth that opens up into a plastic container, essentially. And this is on Wish. The image itself doesn't exactly bode well. It's sort of showing the hippo's mouth open on a child's crutch, essentially.
So, I think the product is innovative. It's a portable urinal, which could come in handy if you've got a toddler or...
Yeah.
So I remember, my brother's going to hate me for saying this, but I remember we went to a football stadium once and we were literally in the middle row, in the middle seats. And just as the game starts, he goes, "Oh, I need a wee." So we could have really done with one of these. But I'm not sure how I feel about the design of the product.
Yeah, I think that's what the issue is with it here.
And also, I don't really like the image they're using to promote it. It's a little bit like, oh, whoa, bit in your face.
Yeah, it's not very tasteful or tactful.
No, I think it's a nice product idea. I don't think it's been executed well in terms of its marketing. But then again, this is Wish. This is the company that every time I scroll down on my Facebook recommends very strange things to me that I can't say on a podcast. But
Definitely, though, I think that the design is... They got the design wrong with this. But I agree that for some parents it would be practical.
then also you got to carry it. I mean, I don't really want to
Yeah.
carry my son's pee in a drinks bottle. I might drink it by accident. Because it does look like a drinks bottle.
It
does
does look like a drinks bottle. So, one of my favourite things about merchandise that exists everywhere is when certain things are just put onto clothing. In this case, what we're currently looking at is one image of Nicolas Cage's face printed multiple times all over a pair of trousers. Personally, I would buy it. I would buy this.
I could actually see you wearing these.
I mean, I love Nicolas Cage, and this is just brilliant, to be honest. I'm not sure I would wear it in public. That's a different matter.
Could you imagine? I could just imagine you walking in public and just people's reactions to... It's not even a flattering photo of him.
You should just look at him and be like, "Don't hate on the Cage."
It's a creepy photo of him. What's he doing?
Such a handsome man, and his face has been taken out of context and printed multiple times. Oh, another one of Nicolas Cage. I want this. So, for anyone listening, what we're currently looking at is, yes, another Nicolas Cage face, but this one's sort of just more of a more neutral face that Nicolas Cage... that's been taken from Nicolas Cage. And you know those sequin pillows that you brush it one way and it's sparkly and it's all sequins, then you brush the sequins the other way and it can make an image or it's a different colour of sequins. This particular pillow, is you brush the sequins one way and it's all a lovely sparkly red. You brush the sequins the other way and it's Nicolas Cage's face. Personally, I think that's brilliant. I think that's amazing. It's very odd.
I want one
product.
of you.
You want one of me?
Yeah, so I could just brush your face.
Brush my face.
I miss you.
Aw, thanks, Billy. And then when you don't want to see me anymore, you just got to brush the sequins the other way. You're just talking to yourself in your room, and you're like, "Shut up, Katie." Brush them. Get out. Just brush the sequins the other way.
See, stuff like this, I could see brands doing well.
Yeah, some brands could do it really well.
Come on, DreamWorks, make a Shrek sequin pillow, please. There's got to be somewhere we can get that done.
There has to be.
And if there isn't, for those listening, there's a niche out there. Fill it.
Yes. If anyone is thinking about starting a new pillow sequin company, this is what you have to do. So people can send their photos to you and you can print them on sequins and put them on pillows.
So the next thing on the list is what's called Crystal Pepsi. And this was a product launched in 1992, and it is what it sounds. It's Pepsi, but it looks like a crystal. So basically, it's in a clear bottle, and the liquid inside is transparent. Now, I quite like the look of this. I'm not going to lie. And I think
It looks like a bottle of water with the Pepsi logo on it.
Yes, to be fair, it does look like Pepsi bottled water. But I still think it's pretty.
Yeah.
Is it? Maybe it's just me. To be fair, it kind of does look a little bit like, or just some paint thinner, perhaps. Like,
yeah, it looks very viscous.
I think the biggest issue with this perhaps wasn't necessarily the look, but it was the way that the product tasted. I think from what I've read, it didn't taste very nice.
I mean, personally, if I saw clear Pepsi, I would look at it and think, what is in that?
Yeah.
To make it clear.
I to be fair though, I would buy this just to try. Wouldn't you?
I would watch you try it, wait 3 days and see if you live. And then I would have a go.
I don't know why, but to me, I can't imagine that tasting like Pepsi though. To me, I would imagine it being like lemon water, or I don't know, it just doesn't look Pepsi.
Well, that's the thing, is that they said it didn't actually taste very nice. So it's clearly not Pepsi. It's something different that they tried to make taste like Pepsi, but it wasn't successful.
For those of you still listening, I'd be really interested if you were to put in the comments just whether you would buy this or not. This is a product from a company called Jimmy Dean, and it is a chocolate chip pancake wrapped sausage.
On a stick.
That is right. On a stick, don't forget the stick. So just to repeat, this is a sausage on a stick covered in pancake batter with chocolate chips. And you get 14 of these bad boys in a pack.
And it's just called pancakes and sausage on a stick.
Yeah, they were really creative with the name for this.
I mean, I can kind of understand because, like, I suppose I assume this is probably an American product, but a lot of places like IHOP in America, you get sort of like you can get savoury meat and pancakes on the same plate. So I kind of understand what they were trying to do here, but it just looks very, very odd and doesn't look appetizing.
See, for me, I think it's the chocolate chips that make it I think if it didn't have chocolate chips in it, it would just look like a corn dog.
Yeah.
But also, a sausage wrapped in pancake. That must have passed a focus group.
Yeah. I suppose they like, I can understand the pancake batter working. Obviously, we don't know what it tastes like, so we don't know whether it was actually a good product or not. But maybe if they entered the market with just the pancake wrapped sausage and sort of like marketed it in such a way that it's less obvious of it being a pancake and that it's just sort of like a bit of a corn dog, and then introduce the chocolate chips later maybe, and the green on the packaging makes me feel like it's mint chocolate chip.
Literally, I was just about to say the packaging does not even do it any more justice. It's just like a mint green packaging with gold and red. And the saying is that their slogan is, it might just be crazy enough to work. It's one of those things you've got to try. I've got one here. This is quite an interesting one for me. This is Burger King's 2013 product launch of Satisfries. I've got to say it. Satisfries. There's a bit of an ASMR for you. But yeah, this is Burger King's 2013 Satisfries. Essentially a healthy version of their signature fries. It has less fat and fewer calories, but consumers weren't fond of these revamped fries, and Burger King eventually had to go back to their original recipe. Now, for those that obviously can't see what they looked like, they're just essentially some kind of low-fat crinkle chip. If they were a genuine, if they were like McCain's, and you saw it down a frozen food aisle, and they're branded as these low-fat chips, fine. But when you go to a fast food restaurant, I mean, I don't speak for everybody here, everyone's different. But when I go to a fast food restaurant, I don't expect If I'm going, I'm going to be unhealthy.
Yeah. I think that's the same thing with a little while ago, I'm not sure when it was, but there was a chocolate brand who created this healthy chocolate, and they were sort of doing it as like an indulgent thing, sort of like, oh yeah, treat yourself, but it's okay because it's good, like sort of like the whole naughty but nice thing. So like you can still eat chocolate, but actually this chocolate's healthy, so you can still eat it and be fine. And it completely failed because after the launch, they realised that people, when they ate chocolate, they were eating chocolate to indulge. They wanted like the real deal. They wanted like proper indulgent chocolate. They didn't want healthy chocolate that they could indulge in on a one-off. That kind of thing I don't think works. If you have a fast food chain, I mean, a lot of fast food chains have like salads anyway. So if someone's trying to be healthy going to a fast food chain, that's probably what they'd order. They'd order a salad, or they wouldn't go there at all. They would go somewhere else. And I think that's kind of the deal with sort of like these unhealthy but healthy snacks, is that they don't necessarily work, because if someone actually wants to indulge themselves in something, they're going to, and they're going to go for full fat. At least that's what I think, in my opinion.
I mean, I know that I'm sure that some people out there definitely liked the idea of this.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of like the idea of it. It's just that in the context of me going to a fast food restaurant, I don't particularly think about being healthy. But I mean, I know that people out there do. My grandparents always order the salad from McDonald's. Oh my good. Okay. This is called Vio. This is a product launched by Coca-Cola in 2009. It is flavoured milk mixed with carbonated water.
That sounds disgusting.
Flavoured milk mixed with carbonated water.
And their flavours are very berry, exotic, fresh citrus, and tropical. What's that last one?
That's tropical colada. Now, that actually sounds quite nice, but flipping water mixed with milk.
And it's carbonated. I mean, carbonated milk anyway doesn't really sound very appetizing. But water, like watery milk, but carbonated, that wouldn't taste nice.
Somebody somewhere thought it did.
Yeah, apparently so.
I mean, it's something, again, you've got to taste it to be able to really have an opinion on it, I suppose. But, I mean, could be nice.
Yeah, I personally wouldn't want to try it to find out. I feel like it would just be a bit of a waste of my money.
Would you like some Hannah Montana cherries? For those of you that obviously can't see, I've just scrolled on a product from 2009, sorry, from Disney Garden, and it's Hannah Montana cherries. And Disney merchandise doesn't support products somewhat considered inappropriate, like these cherries. Do you think these are inappropriate, Hannah Montana cherries? I mean, there's obviously a rude association that could be made.
I could kind of understand that it, sort of like it could necessarily be taken in such a way that Disney's taken a social responsibility standing on trying to get more children to eat fruit, which I think in a way could be a good thing, but at the same time it just seems that they're trying to almost capitalise on vegetables. Sorry, not vegetables, fruit. Like, it doesn't seem genuine. Like, just slapping the Hannah Montana logo on a pack of cherries doesn't make it Hannah Montana cherries, if you know what I mean. Like, there needs to be something different about it to make it Hannah Montana cherries.
Yeah, that's just slapping on a brand to something, isn't it? And just...
Yeah. But I can understand the intent behind it of trying to get children to eat more vegetables and fruit.
I like the idea. I just, yeah. Hannah Montana cherries.
Right, so this next product, you know when you get mirrors and you place them in certain positions so you can see round corners and things like that? Well, these particular mirrors are glasses, so you can lie flat on your back and hold your book sort of away from you that you wouldn't necessarily be able to see reading your book, and put on these glasses, and you can. They're called horizontal reading glasses. And I do believe you can actually buy these on Amazon. So it just means that you can lie down and watch whatever's going on without actually having to, like, strain your neck. Fair enough. I'm not sure the quality of what you'd be able to see through them. I just think they're a bit of a bizarre product, if I'm honest.
I could just imagine walking in on somebody just like with those on, and I'd be like, what is
Yeah.
this?
It also looks like there's just triangles poking out of, like, the particular photo that we're looking at. It just looks like there's triangles poking out of her eyes.
If you sat up, or if you were walking with those
You
on,
would be so confused. Oh my god, that would be so funny. Like, you just sit up and suddenly you're looking at your belly and you're like, wait, what?
oh my gosh, could you imagine like playing a game of hide and seek and the person trying to find everyone has to wear those?
So yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say that there's a lot of strange products out there. We've probably only just scratched the surface of what we could look at. And maybe we'll do another one in the future, because it was quite funny looking at a lot of those products, and a lot of them were very, very bizarre. And I think, I suppose our advice to people who might be thinking of putting a product into the market, make sure you concept test. Make sure that people might actually like it and people will buy it, although that's not necessarily always guaranteed. And I suppose if there's a gap in the market, you might as well go for it and see where it leads. Like chicken harnesses.
And that just goes to show, just because you can make something doesn't mean you should.
Yeah, I agree with that statement. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Now, if you don't mind, everybody, I'm going to buy some Colgate lasagna.
Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you to everyone who tuned into our podcast this week. And if you like our podcast, make sure to check out our previous episodes. And we'll see you next week. Bye.